What is up, you guys? It's your host, Gallad, on more Clash Royale action, talking about my Furnace deck. But first of all, I just had to tell you guys thank you so much for the continuing and undying support that I'm getting from you guys in the YouTube comments, even that's surprising, and in the live streams, in the Mob Crush streams. You guys are just fantastic, so supportive, and the video I made talking about Galamom and that whole situation has over 10,000 likes. That's absolutely insane. It was so nice to see you guys just reaching out and the kindness. Honestly, I really feel it. I really do. I look forward to making these videos, and I wish that I had time to make more. I am going to have time to make more soon once things calm down at home and I am not traveling so much. It just seems like every time I turn around, I'm home for 3 days and then I'm off again, whether it's off to the fan meetup in San Francisco. We had the King's Cup. I've got an event that I'm speaking at in Helsinki, Finland, unrelated to Supercell, and then I might have another Supercell related trip just a few days after that back to Finland. So it's just crazy right now, you guys. And then of course the Christmas holidays, but I'm just making excuses. I know everybody's busy, and that's the thing about life. Everybody has a busy life. Everybody has things to worry about every single day. But I like the old saying, worrying must work, because 90% of the things I worry about never happen. You get it? It means don't worry. It doesn't mean worrying works. It means don't worry. It is useless to worry about things, because unless you can change it or control it, you're just wasting energy. So, alright, let's get into some Clash Royale action, talking about my use of the Furnaces. Currently, probably my favorite card. Love the Furnace. It is just such a good card. When it's leveled up, you can usually get 1 Fire Spirit to your opponent's tower. 2, if you can get something there like a Miner. And check this out. 2 Fire Spirits on the tower and damaging the Mega Minion. And I love that right there, because now that Mega Minion is damaged enough that it will fall just to the tower. Don't have to worry about it any longer. I send in the log. The Princess is going to help me out with the Goblin Barrel. Of course, the Skeleton Army going to do a really good job, and a log of his own. So let me tell you, another very popular card. People loving the log, cannot argue with that. It's a great card, very versatile, and obviously a great Princess counter, unless your log is level 3 and your Princess is level 5. Now, yes, I did just counter a Goblin Barrel with a Goblin Barrel right there. Not sure. I just thought it'd be fun to give it a try, honestly. Okay, so we're grinding his tower down. Looks like we might get it out of the way with just another Fire Spirit. And there it goes. So, again, the Furnace, the clutch unit right there, the card that gets the job done. Just that last single Fire Spirit is going to get that tower out of the way. And then, check it out, the Minion Horde stops the Princesses. They cannot get through. My tower survives. 77 hit points. A close clutch win. Alright, so we'll move on to another challenge battle and then a trophy battle after that. Right now, this deck, I'm having a lot of fun with it in both challenges and trophy play. I'm not really playing in a lot of tournaments, just never really been that exciting. I feel like the rewards from the challenges are more fun, and for that reason, I really wish that they would change tournaments a little bit. Now, right here, check it out. Rare that it works, but right away, off the bat, the very first push grinds that tower into nothingness. So that is pretty much ideal. When my opponent counters the old Miner and Skeleton Army incorrectly, it is a big bonus for me. Now, of course, he does get a chance to put together a pretty good counter push, and unfortunately for me, beautiful Fireball from my opponent just wipes out what was going to be the perfect counter to his push. So his Hog Rider gets all sorts of damage on my tower, and suddenly, from just being up 1-0, I'm up 1-1/2. So just really well-placed Fireball. Got to shout out Moro for that. That was a well-played one right there. Now the Valkyrie is going to get in there, and she is pretty much going to finish off that tower by herself. There it is, and suddenly we're tied 1-1. So it's like everything started over again. You can see that both of the other towers are untouched. So it really is just like a single tower battle. Okay, so 1:40 left, and we're resetting back to the beginning. Gonna throw in the Miner again, and this time try to get the Minion Horde in. Running the Minion Horde, getting in close, the Zap Spell, and of course, the Miner was out of the way because of the Musketeer, so I got almost no damage off on that tower. Could have been big, coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't work out. So here we're gonna throw the log. Not sure if that was the best way to go. Try to pull that Valkyrie off. The trifecta coming in after me. The Valkyrie, the Musketeer, and the Hog Rider. And finally, we throw the skeleton army down to work on the Valkyrie, work on the Hog Rider and the Musketeer rather, and they will eventually fall to his own Musketeer, another Musketeer, and the tower. So we're getting into double elixir, and I finally am going to get a chance to throw up another furnace. And of course, he has the perfect counter. A couple of really good counters for the furnace's fire spirits will be the Musketeer, the Ice Wizard, and even the Princess, all doing a good job of holding off several series of fire spirits. Now we do get the miner in, we get that tower under 2,000 hit points, but as you can see, I'm actually slightly behind in the hit point race right now as we go down to the final 30 seconds, getting ready with the Inferno Tower early this time and getting that furnace up one more time. Of course, that means he gets great value with his fireball. Not thinking ahead, Galadon. Come on, man. Not the smartest move. He got great value with that. My Goblin Barrel is getting almost no work done, but the score is very close as far as hit points go, and we're down to the final 10 seconds trying to put together some sort of a push, squeezing in another miner. It does get only 2 shots off. The Trifecta doing a good job of stopping the miners. The Princess is stuck on the cannon. The log, I don't know, a little bit. Another fireball down below 1,000 hit points. We've got to make something happen here. In come the minion horde and the Goblin Barrel together. He zaps the Goblin Barrel. The minions get in there with the miner, getting some good damage. Here comes 2 fire spirits, and we've got the tower down to under 700 hit points. It is so close. 2.5 minutes left in overtime. This should work out well on the Valkyrie this time. Another fireball in there. Not going to make that much of a difference. Again, we've got to try to get that offensive push going. He's got the cannon in there doing everything he can to protect the Goblin Barrel. Not going to work that well either. With the log, we get under 500 hit points, just slowly grinding it down, sneaking in one more miner. The miner never gets a shot off on the tower, so that was a good Valkyrie. He predicted maybe I was too predictable with where I am dropping my miners. The fireball misses the Princess. That's going to help me out a little bit. Here comes yet another Goblin Barrel. He's ready with a zap spell. It goes down, just chipping away with logs and miners. Got to make this miner work. This time I do drop it on the other side, and somehow he drops the Musketeer over there. Stops me yet again. Fire Spirits, Fireball, Princess survives. They got a second Princess up. Can they get the job done? No, here comes another Goblin Barrel. Will it work? And no, will the log get there? We can't seem to do it. Finally, it looks like the Princesses are going to do it. Here she comes on the river. One more shot, and it's the Princess and the miner getting the job done finally with less than 1:30 left in overtime. An exhausting game, very, very long, but always fun in those challenges. So we're going to take a look at a couple of level 13s this time. So I'm running the same cards on my maxed out account, and yes, that does mean that my Princess and my miner are both level 5. So a couple of my maxed out legendaries. Now I do not have anywhere near maxed out for the log, which it can be unfortunate. We will look at that in another episode. But right here, the log is going to help me out with the Valkyrie. Actually pushes the hog off to the other tower. He never reaches either tower, and the Princess going to help with support right here, trying to slow down the archers. Well, at least it distracted them for a second, so we've lost a little bit off that right tower 30 seconds into the battle. Okay, so we're resetting, trying to decide what to do here. Usually in this situation, with those cards ready, I will lead with the miner, and maybe it's a big elixir commitment, the miner and the minion horde. So the miner's on his way. He goes up. This time I decide to go with the furnace and let the furnace start sending those fire spirits over. That actually worked out well. The fire spirits would not have done very well against the archers or the musketeer, so they help get that Valkyrie down early. Now the minion horde can work on those ranged units. Just works out pretty well. The log finishing off everybody but the musketeer, and the musketeer, distracted on the fire spirits, is going to get taken down by the tower. So my furnace is up. He throws in a hog rider, going to try to counter it really quickly, just getting the Inferno in front of the hog. At this point, it really doesn't make any sense to save it any longer. We know he doesn't have a big tank. I've seen his entire deck, and I know that he's not going to throw a Lava Hound Golem, Giant Royal Giant at me. And yes, I realize it's not a positive elixir trade. Yes, Galadon, whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the Princess working her way forward. Again, I'm just looking for a big push here, trying to get something to work here. I'm trying to protect the Princess with the skeleton army. Sometimes this works out. It sort of works out. We got the minions down. but now we've got the Valkyrie and the archers on their way. I'm throwing in another furnace just in time to stop the Valkyrie. That works out really well, except for, well, okay, the fireball and the Valkyrie. Wipe that out. Another log finishes off the archers, delays the hog a little bit. Another fantastic negative elixir trade goes down as the Inferno, but actually the Inferno worked out pretty well there. We're going to call that positive because it drew the goblins over as well, and that worked out fantastically. I had both towers working on all of those units. Right here, you can see my opponent's a bit desperate as the freeze spell goes down to stop the minion horde. Obviously, he had no other way to stop that counter, and with the miner on the tower, he was in a lot of trouble had he not frozen the minions right there. So another furnace up, another furnace fireballed. The princess working from the protection of the tower, kind of hiding behind it right there. The Valkyrie again going down, and this time the minions are going to get there right behind the miner, and this works out. Look at that massive group of units. No miner anymore, but the minions and the skeleton army get the job done. With only a minute left in overtime, we finally grab the win against another level 13 player. So that's my favorite deck right now. You guys let me know if you've got a favorite card. Mine is definitely the Furnace. And as always, you guys are my favorite viewers, subscribers, and likers, commenters. Do it. And of course, I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more Full Attacks.
Galagon, does that furnace keep you warm during cold winter nights?